Good morning, children. We all need oxygen to remain alive. We all love to eat fruits and vegetables. Children, tell me from where do we get this life supporting oxygen gas? And from where do we get our nutrition? Yes, children, the ultimate source is plant. Without plants, the survival of animals is not possible on our planet Earth. So, children, based on the same concept, today we all are going to study chapter 3, Plant Life, Parts of a Plant. In this chapter, we all will understand importance of plants in our life, parts of plants and their functions. So, children, let's start. Look around you. You will see all kinds of plants. Plants are very important to us. They provide food and oxygen to us and all living beings. There are many kinds of plants around us. Though these plants look different from each other in size and shape, yet all of them have the same body parts. Plants have two systems, root system and shoot system. So, children, although the plants around us are of various shapes and sizes, their entire body can be broadly divided into two parts, the root system and the shoot system. Root system includes that part of the plant which grows below the ground, like the roots, whereas the shoot system includes those parts of the plant which grows above the ground, like the stem, branches, leaves, etc. Now, children, before learning about these parts of a plant in detail, first let's try to find out what is given here in this activity. Activity 1. Soak some seeds in wet cotton. Keep it in a warm place. See that the cotton remains wet. After a few days, you will see some small plants or seedlings growing from the seed. So, children, this is an interesting activity which will give you a first hand experience to see, grow, and observe a seed growing into a seedling. Children, before starting this activity, soak your seeds overnight in water. This will sort of wake up your seeds for the germination process. Place the seeds on a wet cotton and keep it in a warm place. After 2 to 3 days, you will observe that a root pops out of the seed. If you sow this seed into the soil, it will grow into a new plant. So, children, the process by which a seed grows into a new plant or seedling is called as germination process. The seed grows into a new plant only if it gets sufficient amount of air, water and warmth or sunlight. Let's move on to the root system. The root is the first part of a plant that grows from the seed when it germinates. Roots hold the plant firmly to the ground and absorb water and minerals from the soil which are needed for the plant to grow. Types of roots. There are two kinds of roots, taproot and fibrous root. The taproot is the main root of the plant that goes deep into the soil. It is thick and grows downwards. Its main root has many branches that spreads out. Neem and peepal trees have taproots. Can you think of two more examples of taproot? Let's move on to the next page. The fibrous roots do not have branches but have a group of nearly equal sized roots that spread out from the base of the stem in all directions. Fibrous roots do not go very deep. Examples of fibrous roots are wheat and rice. Children, this important part called root can be divided into two categories, taproot and fibrous root. In taproot system, there is a single main root that grows downwards. This main root has many root hairs that originates from its sides, as you can see in this given picture. Whereas in fibrous root system, there is a dense network of roots that is usually closer to the soil surface. These roots are bushy in appearance. Some of the examples of plants having fibrous roots are wheat, rice and maize. Let's move on to special roots. Some plants have special types of roots. Certain plants like turnip, carrot, radish have enlarged roots to store large quantities of food. These types of roots are tuberous roots. Trees such as banyan have roots that grow downwards from the branches towards the ground. These are called aerial roots. These roots hang in the air and are not covered by soil. So, children, other than taproot and fibrous root, there are special types of roots. These are tuberous roots and aerial roots. Tuberous roots are basically tap roots which can store extra food which is prepared by the plant during the process of photosynthesis. Examples of such roots are carrot, turnip, radish. We all love to eat such roots. Children, aerial roots are those roots which grow downwards from the branch of a tree, as you must have seen in banyan tree. Now let's move on to the functions of roots. First function, roots fix the plant firmly into the ground. They spread out in the soil and hold the plant firmly to the ground. Second function, roots absorb water and minerals from the soil and pass them to the stem and leaves of the plant. Third function, roots bind the soil. The soil on which no plants are growing is easily washed away by water or blown away by the wind. Fourth function, roots store food. Some roots like carrot, radish, etc. have thick and swollen roots that store extra food. We eat such roots. So, children, the main function of the root is to absorb water and minerals from the soil and transport it to the shoot system. Roots help in keeping the plant upright as they hold the soil tightly. By doing so, they also help in preventing soil erosion. Children, when the soil is left open without any vegetation on it, vegetation means plants and grasses, its top fertile layer starts washing away due to wind and rain. This washing away of the top fertile layer of the soil is called as soil erosion, and it can be prevented by planting more and more trees. Children, we all know that some special roots store extra food which is prepared by the plant. These roots are called as tuberous roots, and we all love to eat such roots. Let's move on to the next part, which is stem. The part of a plant that rises vertically up from the ground is called the stem. The stem of a big tree is called a trunk. It is strong, thick and woody. Neem and mango trees have such a stem. Some stems are thick and soft, as in a banana plant. Some plants are weak, soft and green. They cannot hold up a plant. For example, money plant. These plants are called climbers. They need support to stay upright. So, children, stem is that part of the plant which bears the entire weight of the plant. Now, depending on the thickness and strength of the stem, plants are divided into 5 categories: herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. Children, herbs are very small plants with delicate stems, as in spinach and fenugreek. Shrubs. Children, shrubs are medium-sized plants that have thin woody stems. For example, rose and hibiscus. Trees. Trees are plants with very strong and woody stems. They are very tall in height, like neem and mango. Climbers. These are plants with weak stems. They need support to climb upwards, like money plant and grapevine. Creepers. Children, creepers are plants with very weak stem. They creep on the ground. Example, watermelon, muskmelon, etc. Let's move on to functions of stem. First function, the stem supports the plant above the ground. It bears branches, leaves, buds, flowers and fruits. Second function, the stem carries water and minerals absorbed by the roots to all parts of the plant. Third function, some stems store food in them, such as sugarcane, potato, ginger, etc. Stems like potato and ginger are underground stems. We eat these stems. So, children, stem is the main part of the shoot system. It keeps the plant upright and straight. It carries water and minerals from the root to other parts of the plant, and food from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Children, like tuberous roots store food in them, similarly, there are some plants which store extra food prepared by the plant in their stems. These are potato, ginger, and sugarcane. Children, potato and ginger are modified underground stems. They are not roots. Let's move on to leaves. The leaf is the thin, flat, broad, and green part of a plant that is attached to the branch. Leaves are of different shapes and sizes. The flat, broad part of the leaf is called the leaf blade or lamina. In the middle of the leaf blade is the main vein and several side veins or tubes which are connected with it. The veins distribute water and food to the leaf. A leaf has many tiny pores on the underside. Exchange of gases takes place through the stomata. So, children, leaf is a green flat part of the plant that is attached to a branch. When you will observe this leaf carefully, you will notice that the center part of this leaf is a bit thick. This thick part is a tube, which is called as the main vein, and this main vein branches into several side veins. These side veins or tubes carries water to all parts of the leaf. Children, like we all breathe in and breathe out through our nose, similarly plants also breathe, and they breathe through tiny pores which are present on the underside of the leaf. As you can see here in this picture, these tiny pores are called as stomata. Let's move on to functions of leaves. First function, leaves are called the kitchen of the plant. They prepare food for the plant. Second function, the process by which leaves prepare food is called photosynthesis. The leaves prepare food with the help of sunlight, water, minerals, carbon dioxide, and chlorophyll. So, children, green plants prepare their food using sunlight, water, minerals, carbon dioxide in the presence of a green pigment which is called as chlorophyll. And this process of manufacturing food by green plants is called as photosynthesis. Children, this green pigment called chlorophyll is very important for plants to manufacture their food. Non-green plants like mushrooms lack this pigment, and so they are not able to manufacture their food. They depend on stale and decayed matter for their nutrition. Let's move on to the third function. Some leaves, like mint and cabbage, store extra food in them. We eat these leaves. So, children, like we all have learned that there are some plants which store their extra food in their roots or stems. Similarly, there are some plants which store their extra food in their leaves. Examples of such leaves are mint, cabbage, spinach, fenugreek, etc. Let's read further. When the leaves make food, they also give out oxygen. All living things need oxygen to live. So, children, during the process of photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen through their stomata. This oxygen is utilized by all living beings, including us, to remain alive. Let's move on to flowers and fruits. The most beautiful part of the plant is the flower. Flowers are of different colors, shapes, and sizes. The flower first appears as a bud on the stem. Gradually, the bud grows in size and the petals open into a beautiful flower. So, children, flowers are the most beautiful part of a plant as they are brightly colored and have a sweet smell. When these flowers are pollinated by insects like bees and butterflies, then they change into fruits. These fruits have seeds inside them. Like mango, apple, there are some fruits which do not have a single seed inside them, like banana and grapes. Let's move on to uses of flowers. Flowers are used for decoration during festivals, functions, and weddings. We make bouquet, garland, and rangoli with flowers. Second function, flowers of certain plants are used as food, like cauliflower, broccoli, and banana. Third function, few spices like clove and saffron are obtained from the flowers of plant. Cloves are dried flower buds. Fourth function, flowers of some plants like rose and jasmine are used to make perfumes. So, children, these are some of the functions of flowers. They are used for decoration, as food, as spices, and also to make perfumes. So, children, in this way, the reading and explanation of this chapter is done. Before we move on to the book exercises, I request all my students to kindly subscribe the channel and press the bell button for more upcoming informative videos. Thank you, children. Let's move on to the book exercises. Question number A. Tick the correct answer. So children, here for every question there are 4 options given and we have to tick the correct answer. And we have to write the same in the given blank. Question number 1. Plants make their food in the dash. Stem, leaves, fruits or roots. So we all know that plants prepare their food in the leaves. Question number 2. Some leaves which store extra food in them are mango, mint, banyan or neem. So we all know that mint is the plant which stores its extra food in leaves. Question number 3. We eat stems of cabbage, carrot, ginger or wheat. So it is ginger. Ginger is a modified stem which we all eat. Question number 4. Rice plant have dash. Taproot, storage root, aerial root or fibrous root. So rice plants have fibrous root. Question number 5. Tiny pores on the surface of leaves are called dash. Children, here I'd like to do a correction. The tiny pores are not present on the surface of leaves. Rather, they are present on the underside of the leaves. And these tiny pores are called as stomata. Plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen during the process of photosynthesis through these tiny pores called stomata. So here we will tick the option A. Next, question number B. Fill in the blanks. First part. The part of a plant that contains the seed is called dash. So children, it is fruit. Fruit is that part of the plant that contains and protects seed. Second question. Carrot and radish have dash roots. So carrot and radish have tuberous roots. These are the roots in which these plants store their extra food. Third, dash are the food factory of plants. So we all know leaves are the food factory of plants as they manufacture food in the form of carbohydrate for the plant. Question number 4. Flowers develop into dash. So we all know when flowers are pollinated by the bees and insects, these flowers develop into fruits. Fifth, dash carry water to all parts of a leaf. So these are veins. Veins are the tubes which carry water to all parts of a leaf. Let's move on to question number C. State true or false. First question. Tiny pores on the leaves are called stomata. It is true. Second, the banyan tree has tuberous roots. This is a false statement. The banyan tree has aerial roots. Third question. The stem carries prepared food from leaves. This is true. Fourth, the flat broad part of a leaf is called the leaf blade. This is also true. The flat broad part of the leaf is called as the leaf blade or lamina. Fifth, seeds are the most beautiful part of a plant. This is a false statement. Flower is the most beautiful part of a plant because of its color and lovely smell. Question number D. Name the following. First, 2 seeds that we eat. Children, here I have written mustard and cumin seeds. These 2 seeds are used as spices to flavor our food. You can write the names of any lentils like gram, kidney beans or cereals like rice, wheat, etc. They all are seeds. Next question. 2 stems which we eat. Children, here I have written sugarcane and ginger. You can write potato also. Third, 2 flowers which we eat. So here I have written cauliflower, broccoli. You can write banana flower as well. Fourth, 2 roots which we eat. So here I have written carrot, radish. Fifth, 2 leaves we eat. So here I have written spinach and fenugreek. You can write the names of any other leaf which you eat. Question number E. Give short answers to the following questions. Question number 1. What is photosynthesis? Answer. The process of making food by leaves using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is called photosynthesis. Question number 2. Draw a well-labeled diagram of a leaf. So children, you all have to draw this diagram and properly label it. Question number 3. What does a seed require to grow into a seedling? Answer. A seed requires air, water and appropriate temperature to grow into a seedling. Question number F. Give detailed answer of the following questions. Question number 1. What are the functions of root? Name the roots. Answer. Functions of a root are A. Roots hold the plant firmly to the soil. B. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. C. Roots prevent soil erosion as they hold the soil tightly. Types of roots. First, tap roots. Example, neem and peepal. Second, fibrous roots. Example, wheat, rice. Third, special roots like A. Tuberous roots. Example, carrot and radish. B. Aerial roots. Example, banyan tree. Question number 2. In what ways are flowers useful to us? Give examples. Answer. Flowers are used for decoration, making bouquets, garlands and rangolis. Certain flowers like cauliflower and broccoli are used as food. Flowers of some plants like rose and jasmine are used to make perfumes. Question number 3. How are stems useful to us? Answer. Stems of some plants are edible like potato, ginger and sugarcane. Second, some stems are used as medicine like quinine from the cinchona plant. Third, stems of big trees called trunks are used as fuel and timber to make furniture. Question number 4. Draw a well-labeled diagram of a plant. So children, here you can see a well-labeled diagram of a plant. The same you can draw in your notebook. Next is HOTS. Today, uncontrolled construction is destroying the roots of plants. Rapid industrialization and modernization is causing a lot of harm. It is instrumental in increasing the level of pollution in towns and cities. During construction activities, care should be taken to protect the roots of trees. What measures can be taken to control this? Discuss. Children, this is a very good topic that can be discussed in the class. I'll give you some points which you all can use during your discussion rounds. Children, trees often die several years after the construction. Thus, protecting the tree's root system is the most important thing that can be done, and it starts with understanding where the tree roots are located and how they function. Children, almost all tree roots can be found in the top 6 to 24 inches of soil. Just one large taproot extends deeper into the soil, providing the tree with stability. The rest of the roots extend outward to take up water and nutrients, going out at least as far as the tree is tall, possibly even twice that distance. So, it is important to protect as much of the root zone as possible. And this can be done by installing fence around the root zone to keep the vehicles and workers away. Children, sometimes the area around the trees are compacted with cement or tiles. This should not be done as it closes all the pores in the soil through which the roots breathe. This compaction around the trees also stops water from being absorbed by the soil, thus keeping the roots away from getting the water and moisture they need for their survival. Let's move on to the activity. Take two plants. Keep one inside the house and another in the sunlight. Measure their height. Make an observation chart and write the differences you observe after 3 days and 10 days. So children, this is a research work to find out the impact of sunlight on the growth of a plant, which you all have to do independently. Children, here I am providing you this worksheet for extra practice. So children, in this way the explanation of this entire chapter is done. Hope you all learned something new in today's class. In case of any doubt, you can write the same in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. All the best, children.